Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Listen up, team. Recycling is just like football. You can't win if you're out of formation. Yellow bin? That's your quarterback. Give it all the paper. Blue bin? Wide receiver. Feed it all the containers. But no interceptions. Plastic bags and greasy pizza boxes have no place on this field. Now, follow the playbook. Get out there and recycle right. Sponsored by the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. Let's keep winning for the planet!
DQ Grill and Chill, always your Valentine for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, the Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing, blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Make sure you pick up your Cupid cake, a great Valentine's Day gift, with DQ Grill and Chill's custom red velvet or a specific flavor for your liking. $13.99 through Valentine's Day. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
We can't be playing favoritism with these legacy-defining awards. That goes for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that definitely goes for the MVP.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good heap. It is Super Friday. I am Theo Dorsey. This is Theoretically Speaking. We are pumped up. We are 2 days away from kickoff to the inevitable three-peat from the Kansas City Chiefs, and I could not be more enthused. In fact, it's a Super Friday as well because we're going to have a 3-time Super Bowl champion pay a visit to the show today. Our first time with a person that has won 3 Super Bowls as a player. Because, of course, we've had Terry Braden Jr., assistant defensive line coach of the Chiefs, on here, and he has 3 rings himself, going for a 4th one on Sunday. We also have Todd Fleming coming on, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach, is going to do some Who Missed the Cut, as well as an exciting happy hour, as we're going to be talking about and showing a little pub to a new podcast out here, CCAT. It's a packed Friday.
Dude, I'm buzzing. I am off the walls right now. I could probably run 3 miles without breaking a sweat. I feel good.
That's good. Well, you know what? You're on the other side of the glass on the 1s and 2s. Let's keep it that way. I don't want you to hurt yourself because, again, both of us are pulling for Chiefs Kingdom this weekend, and we need all of your energy, all of your limbs, your arms intact.
Can we do that?
Ready to rock?
Should I get the song, the war chant going?
Yeah.
All right.
I won't do any chops. But I will.
Fist bump. How about that?
Fist pump. Yeah. We'll do some
you
fist
close
bumping.
the hand.
Yeah, that's how we'll close the show. That's how we'll close the show in the happy hour is getting getting the Chiefs Kingdom riled up out here. And again, it is a Friday. What is it? February 7th. Time is moving fast, and I am glad of one thing particularly, because I think last night, 2 things can be true at the same time. There is no doubt in my mind that if you win 2 Super Bowl MVPs, win 2 Super Bowls against the guy that we herald as the GOAT and Tom Brady, you do deserve a place somewhere when it comes to where we literally enshrine people into the who really wrote the story of football, who is essential to the story of football. Eli Manning, with his 2 Super Bowl championships with the Giants in 2007 and 2011, both against Brady, he deserves a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame at some point. But the collective outrage we've been getting, CCAT, about him not being named the first ballot Hall of Famer in this class, it has me a little bit upset because it plays into the very same sports media bias, the same reason why people are outraged about Eli Manning not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Those are the same folks that are letting their favoritism and their, I really like this guy's story and I like watching him play. They're the ones that also ushered in an undeserving MVP in Josh Allen, who got that award over Lamar Jackson instead of him getting his 3rd. So we'll get into all of that today. I do want to start off by saying this.
Hey, Culligan
And that's because your boy is officially locked in. I have my appointment set with Culligan Water to be able to get my water system set up. I had a free water test less than a couple of weeks ago, and my guy Timothy pulled up, and Tim pulled up, and he showed me exactly what the difference was between what is actual drinking water I should be putting into my system, what actual soft water should look like, and how it can impact the way in which I wash my dishes, the way in which I keep literally my shower door clean. I mean, I know a lot of y'all at home probably have those glass shower doors like myself, and they get all dirtied up with all of the minerals and residue that comes from that hard water. That's why I'm officially locked in.
Hey, Culligan man.
And I'm rocking with the good people at Culligan. It's not always possible to see contaminated water, right, when it's coming out of the faucet, or be able to see exactly what is supposed to be going into your bodies. But you know what? The taste is difficult to ignore. And part of Tim's presentation when he actually did my free water test was he let me taste some of the actual water from Culligan, and I said, wow. I said, okay, different ball game here. The team at Culligan understands that this can help improve your quality of life, and they want to remove all of those toxins and contaminants from your water. Culligan offers free water testing. They'll come right to your home on your schedule, and they'll show you exactly what your water has in it and how they can help prevent you from some of the ailments that can come from water that is not purified, that is not softened. Culligan's been helping out the local community out here since 1936. They've been around. They've been trying to help you out. So allow them into your homes. Get your free water test today. Get your free water test today. All you got to do is go to Culligan.com and tap in to get your free water test and see what you can use at your home to get locked in. Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Now, there is no amount of filtration. There is no amount of treatment that can make me feel better about the bad taste I have in my mouth from the sports media types that have been pounding the table in favor of Eli Manning being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Eli Manning, who again is a media darling. He is a member of the professional sports media, as he does his Manning Cast and many other things on ESPN. Obviously, it is advantageous for us to be in support of all things Manning here with ESPN. Also, one of our first guests here on Theoretically Speaking.
That's right.
We got a sit-down interview with Eli Manning, and he was gracious enough to give us about 10 to 12 minutes of his time and talk some ball. We talked about the Brady roast back then. Like, Eli Manning is, by all accounts, a great dude, a great hang, and he's somebody that everybody likes. Right, C-Cat?
Exactly. There's no one that hates Eli Manning apart from diehard Patriots fans.
Right.
That's the only crowd that might hate Eli Manning. Everyone else, they're appreciative to Eli Manning for what he did against the Patriots and everything outside of that. A good guy.
He's a Manning. They have the highest Q ratings of really any football or sports families out there, from the Coopers to the Archies down to Arch Manning right now, who's at Texas. Everybody loves the Manning. Everybody loves Eli. Now, Unsportsmanlike obviously is comprised of three great hosts that you hear right here on ESPN 106.3, 6 to 10 a.m. Number one, we got our guy, Evan Cohen, who is a Patriots fan, right? So that I could get why he might be, pushing back on a little Eli stuff. Then we also have Michelle Smallman, who is, I want to call her a Packers fan. She seems to be a fan of everybody in the everybody in the NFC North these days. But most importantly, she's a person that can be objective about this. There's a third man, and that is our guy, Chris Canty, resident Super Bowl champion on ESPN Radio. And he's the only one in sports media I will give a pass for pounding the table in favor of Eli Manning being selected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And damn it, it's because he helped him win a ring. Do we have Chris Canty? Here's Chris Canty's plea. That is, let me remind you, it is almost lockstep with everybody else that wants Eli to be already in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They wants him to be in Canton. It's a similar sentiment, but at least I get it from a guy that won a Super Bowl with Manning.
I am disgusted with the committee for the Pro Football Hall of Fame that Eli Manning did not get in. I get it. We always want to make these distinctions between first ballot and unanimous, but there is no argument to be made that Eli Manning shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer. There is no question about it. I mean, if you win 2 Super Bowls and you got 2 Super Bowl MVPs, you're going to get the Hall call. And to me, I hate when we play these games of trying to create levels to the pinnacle of pro football, which is the Hall of Fame and being enshrined. I don't understand how Eli Manning did not get in.
So Canty makes a good point there, and I agree with him. Eli did have the career of somebody that deserves to be in Canton. I do think there needs to be some level of delineation, though, between the all-time greats, the transcendent football players, the people that shaped generations, that shaped the way in which others were inspired to play the game, versus people who just had a Hall of Fame-like legacy. It can't be misconstrued. I don't want to look back 50 years from now and see that Eli and Tom Brady was in the same hall and think that was the same thing.
I was rooting so hard for Eli Manning and the New York Giants in both of those Super Bowls. I was living in New York. That was a team that was regional. I was surrounded by Giants fans. I was begging for an ultimate upset in 2007 and somehow lightning to strike twice in 2011.
Yeah.
But the reason why those Super Bowls were so special was because you didn't have a first ballot Hall of Famer at quarterback in Eli Manning going against the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. That is why those are the most memorable Super Bowls of all time, because it was David versus Goliath. Because David beats Goliath does not make David also Goliath.
So you're 100% correct on that. And so with Eli Manning missing the Hall, here's the 4 names that made it. You know about Sterling Sharp. You see the story between Shannon Sharp, the first 2 brothers to ever make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Then you had, and I don't know why it escapes me. I didn't have it written down here. It was, jeez. What was the cornerback from the Eagles? Damn it, C-Cat, I got all derailed here because I had it on my paper and then I lost it. But this year's class of 2025 actually was stronger than one would think. Jared Allen was one who made it, edge rusher. Played most of his career with the Chiefs, played some with the Vikings as well. That's where he really made a big part of his game known. Eli Manning wasn't in that class of folks. And even more so, C-Cat, when I look at the guys that were left out from the foursome, that's going to be the 2025 class, that's where it even fortifies it even more that first ballot would have been a stretch for our guy, Eli Manning. Do you have the full list right there?
Right. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp.
Yes. Of course, Antonio Gates. I love the one of my favorite things about the Hall of Fame class and all of the stuff around it is the way in which they do the surprises or show players that they will be getting a gold jacket. And I'm not sure if you saw the video of LaDainian Tomlinson surprising Antonio Gates. You got to remember, like, that dude was a basketball player. He was a hooper at Kent State. And went in as a tight end with the Chargers, was able to play with Phillip Rivers, was able to put up like historic numbers. And I'm sure at no point during his early playing career did he think I could be a guy that could be giving getting a bust and giving a speech and going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And watching his genuine reaction to LT giving him that was like special, man. Those are some of the best moments. Remember Calvin Johnson's?
Yes.
That was, I forgot who gave it, but that one was special as well. I think they had Barry Sanders in on that one. It's just such a nice moment, man.
Well, yeah, these guys are career athletes, and they are competing year after year after year until they're not, so you retire. So that's finally getting another accomplishment that is kind of back when you were in your heyday.
Yeah.
Got to feel good to once again win.
And for Eli last night, he was gracious in what you would consider maybe not a win, a loss, because he hasn't made it in just yet, and I think we all agree he eventually will. But there were others that I just think, again, had much, much more of a better resume that should have got in over him. Luke Kuechly, Panthers linebacker, 8 seasons in the NFL, 5 of them he was first-team All-Pro. The list of inside linebackers that have 5 All-Pro seasons, yeah, everybody on that list, a Pro Football Hall of Famer except for Bobby Wagner, and that's just because he's still actively playing. You're talking about a guy that walked into the NFL, was Defensive Rookie of the Year the first season, and Defensive Player of the Year the second season. Steve Smith, former wide receiver from the Panthers. I don't even have to go through his list of accolades to remind people of how much he shaped the way that we look at the wide receiver position. Adam Vinatieri was left off. Torrey Holt, who I think he gets a little bit of a knock to his resume because he was alongside Isaac Bruce, and he's at that wide receiver position, which, again, we're getting such inflated numbers these days with the way that the passing game is that I hope Torrey Holt gets in sooner than later, because the longer it takes, the harder it's going to be when you stack up his resume next to some of these guys in modern-day football. These are the type of guys that I would say franchises don't reach it to the pinnacle without. Now, the Giants don't win those Super Bowls without Eli Manning and the way that he played in those playoff stretches. I will give him that. But we're talking about a guy who has a career regular season record that is literally average, right at 500, 117 and 117. We're talking about a guy who his next best accolade outside of his 2 Super Bowls and Super Bowl MVPs, which are nothing to scoff at, but outside of those 2 games that he played in, his next best accolade is the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. It's either that or the 4 Pro Bowls. Which one would you say is higher up in list of what he would regard? I think it would be the Man of the Year, right?
I mean, after we see the Pro Bowl selections the past several years due to people stepping out, I guess maybe even Walter Payton Man. I'm stumbling over the words
Yeah, Walter
here.
Payton Man of the Year. The Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
But if you watch Giants football throughout the entirety of Eli Manning's career, he held his team back a lot of times, too.
He did.
Like, he was the weak spot on that team. He played with a lot of good teammates. Plaxico Burress in his prime was a great wide receiver.
Come on. Jay Tuck.
Odell Beckham Jr. on the tail end.
Yeah, the defense is what held them up so high. Guys like Chris Canty himself who wants to see his quarterback get in. Again, this is not anything against Eli. It is just more so being protective of, number one, the Hall of Fame, which should come with barriers to entry from guys who are not trained talents. And then number two, I just can't stand the level of favoritism that we've been showing all throughout these things that actually matter, these accolades. I'm cool with you saying you really like Eli Manning. I'm cool with you saying you wish him well in his post-career endeavors. And damn it, you want him to be in the Hall of Fame. But to act outraged about him not getting in the first year, it's a little disingenuous. There have been, I believe, 12 in modern football history in the past since like 1990. There have been 12 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. All of them have been first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks except for one guy, Kurt Warner, who didn't get in until his third time. You're telling me that those Giants wouldn't have traded Eli Manning in the blink of an eye for Kurt Warner at quarterback?
Oh, they would have done it immediately.
And that's my issue. Like, my point of contention with all of this is it's hard for me to admit that you are a Hall of Fame level player, or especially at the most pivotal position in sports, quarterback, if I put your general manager, your head coach, hell, even your teammates on truth serum, and I said, hey, in the prime of this guy's career, at the best of his best, would you have traded him out for another guy at that position? And Chris Canty, he probably won't say it now because it's easier to say in hindsight. I'm sure Tom Coughlin wouldn't admit it either because, hey, it's all said and done. If they were being honest about this, there's probably a list of about 10 other dudes that played quarterback in the NFL at that time that they would have rather had leading their team because of talent, because of the way that they played day in and day out on the football field, but then also the fact that if you get a ceiling raiser at quarterback, you see how much of a difference that makes. Eli Manning felt more Jared Goff than he does Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar Jackson. You ask any of those franchises, would you swap out your starting QB for anybody in the league? They're hanging up the phone on you. You would ask the Lions or the Giants of those mid-2000s, they're like, well, who are you talking about?
Exactly.
Who you got? Well, what are we saying here? And don't let this get out, but hell yeah. So
right, because we love these fond memories. And if you're a Giants fan, you will forever love Eli Manning for what he did in those 2 historic, legendary, postseason, improbable runs. But there's a reason why those runs were improbable.
Yes.
It's not because the Giants got the 1 seed and had a catastrophic injury that had them backed against the wall like the Eagles in 2017 purport themselves to be. No, it's because the Giants weren't very good in the regular season and got hot at the right time. That's why the Giants had an underdog story not once but twice.
And congratulations to them on getting it done. And eventually you will be able to have that Hall of Fame speech, Eli Manning, and I'm sure it's going to be great. It's probably already crafted up. One last note on this. Eli, not only does he have that average regular season record, Daniel Jones has a higher QBR than him. Daniel Jones
Oh, that's just
has
too
a
much.
higher QBR than Eli Manning.
Hey,
What do you want me to do with that information?
Man, you corny.
What do you want me to do with that information?
That's too much.
I'll leave it at that.
Keep that to yourself.
I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. But you know what? Daniel Jones isn't. He's not a champion.
There we go.
He's not a champion like Eli is. And you know what? Champions, they're all over the flagship campus of Kaiser University in West Palm Beach. The Kaiser Seahawks have actually won 22 national championships, including back-to-back natties in men's lacrosse, 3 straight in NAIA women's swimming and diving, and, of course, the 2023 NAIA football championship before making it to the game as well in 24. Had a chance to repeat. KU also has captured 61 regular season titles and 63 conference tournament championships, plus that Learfield Cup trophy that just exemplifies the excellence across all sports. Get the latest on Kaiser Seahawk athletics at kuseahawks.com. That's kuseahawks.com.
I am delivered.
I am delivered from specifically any Eli hate. I don't mean for it to come off as that, but I'm just trying to give more context to people that can't understand why Eli Manning isn't a Hall of Famer today. He doesn't deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He eventually will be enshrined with the rest of his other NFL greats, though.
I'm telling you, cheapen the moment. I said it once and I'll say it again. If you turn those 07-11 Super Bowls into first ballot Hall of Famer versus greatest of all time, you lessen the impact on those moments. They're underdog moments for a reason.
That's true. That's true. Like he was a non-Hall of Fame talent level quarterback that was able to overcome Goliath twice, and that does amplify what he did. If we would looked at it back then as, oh, this is Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer Eli Manning versus future Hall of Famer Tom Brady, you're right. Maybe the betting lines would have been even closer as well.
Exactly.
Would have impacted everything. So we saw the betting lines move with something else in the NFL that literally, it feels like it was one of the more favoritism-driven, maybe even fatigue-driven awards that we've seen in a while. The Most Valuable Player Award. And let's get Eli off of this because Eli's not, his face doesn't exemplify that of an MVP. Hell, he never even made an All-Pro team. But a guy who did make an All-Pro team, first team All-Pro at that, was Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position this year. And the guy who was second team All-Pro at the same position was Josh Allen. But last night at the NFL Awards, which caught us all by surprise because, damn it, there's too much going on in this world right now. I'm like, wait, they're giving out the MVP tonight? Already?
Yeah. The NFL came out swinging on the attack of the headlines that the NBA was levying.
Yeah, I know. The NBA, they finally caught back the headlines, and all it took them was until 2 days before the Super Bowl. But here we are talking NFL, talking some football finally. Josh Allen wins the MVP over Lamar Jackson. He's the first player to win MVP while not being a first-team All-Pro player in 21 seasons. Yes, that's how long it's been. In fact, there are so many other precedents to this award, the MVP, that would go in favor of Lamar Jackson that I'm not going to sit here and bore you with listing them all out. Instead, I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter in which why Josh Allen was named MVP over Lamar. And it wasn't the divisional round win, even though we all did agree whoever wins that game deserves to get the trophy because, hell, that's the game that matters most. It was the game to see who can challenge the throne that was Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen won this award for 3 reasons. Number one was voter fatigue. And my criticism of any NFL MVP voter who decided not only to put Josh Allen ahead of Lamar because you were tired, I guess, of checking a box, or maybe the voter who somehow, some way found a reason to make Lamar 4th on his MVP ballot. Did you see that, C-Cat?
I did. He had a 4th place vote. It was 0-1.
A 4th place vote is actually absolutely crazy. And that person, whoever that is, I'm not sure if they've been outed yet, needs to have their vote rescinded. If you are in a position where you have quote-unquote voter fatigue, then maybe you need to pass your vote on to someone who takes maybe a little bit more honor in having such a prestigious, such a prestigious, I don't want to call it a responsibility. It's really a privilege of deciding who the MVP is.
It's an honor that your opinion matters that much.
Hell yeah. You should be honored and thrilled to be a part of this process. And if fatigue is impacting your vote, well, damn it, then give your vote away to somebody who's less tired. That's number one. The second reason Josh Allen wins this over Lamar is obviously narrative, right? If you look at the stats, Lamar is whooping his ass in most every category. He just is. Now, you could go try to find some kind of snap count or whatever the hell people have been doing online to try and justify why they think Josh Allen is the MVP. But Lamar had the better season. Lamar and the Ravens also beat Josh Allen and the Bills handily in the regular season, which is what this award is based off of. I get it. The Bills made up for it in the playoffs. That doesn't actually count as a data point to the actual vote. So, yes, the narrative is there for Josh Allen to win, but the actual resume based on this season went in favor of Lamar Jackson. Narrative played a big part in this, though, because a lot of people wrote off the Bills because of the departure of Stephon Diggs. I understand that as well, C-Cat. I get that when a guy leaves and you have a really good season, MVP is something you should be considered for. Similar to the Russell Westbrook MVP in the NBA back in 2016. KD leaves. Westbrook has all these triple-doubles. It wasn't super efficient, but it was really critical and important. He rose them to a level that we didn't think he could get him to. We crowned him MVP. Congratulations. I think the issue here, though, is people just really love the hell out of Josh Allen, bro. Like, he is such a likable figure. I think of all players in the NFL, would you say he has the highest Q rating? Like, there are very few Josh Allen haters.
Yeah, people hate people who love Josh Allen a lot, but
Right.
people don't actually hate Josh Allen.
Yeah, like even me, even myself. Some people might say because of the takes I've given on this show that I'm a quote-unquote Josh Allen hater. I actually absolutely love watching Josh Allen play. I think he's an elite quarterback. I think he's a Hall of Fame level talent. I believe he also had an MVP-worthy season if it weren't for the other guy on the other side of him that we see shaking his hand there that had a better season. So there's a perception that there's hate for Josh Allen, but that's not the actual truth. The truth of the matter is the hate is directed towards the fans, the media types, and also the MVP voters who show clear bias in his favor, and by doing so, they are putting other players who are deserving on a smaller scale, on a smaller weight pool. You can tell that they had their MVP decided by week 5 or 6. Remember when Dan Orlovsky and Tony Romo were out there calling Josh Allen interceptions, arm punts, and good throws when they could have settled for a field goal, but instead he threw an interception, a pick? I've never seen it happen before, but it happened throughout this year. You also remember when Dan Orlovsky said like 7 or 8 weeks into the season, by the way, Orlovsky, ESPN, obviously, Get Up and everything, all the morning shows. He said early into the season that the MVP race was over when clearly it wasn't, and it proved to not be. The problem is Dan never moved off his spot. Dan never, as a voter, as a person who's supposed to be a responsible voter, never gave himself a door to open to actually reconsider who should be the MVP of the league. And from that time he called the race over to the end of the year, Lamar far outplayed Josh Allen, both statistically, and he rose the Ravens up to a certain win level to where you can say they're comparable. Here's Dan Orlovsky today on Get Up trying to excuse the fact or the reason in which why he picked Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson for MVP while still saying that Lamar had the better season because he voted him first team All-Pro.
Value and how much you impact your team, who you do it with and who you do it against. That's where I thought Josh Allen had the upper hand.
Interesting.
Stop it right there right quick, C-Cat. You can stop it right there. You notice how everybody else on the desk is laughing at him? You notice how Dominique Foxworth, who again played in the league at corner and has a really good, smart view of the game, is just like laughing uncontrollably. The other voice you hear laughing on that desk is Jeff Saturday, former All-Pro center. Did he get in the Hall of Fame? I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he should be. I think he's a gold jacket guy. I think he is. I can go ahead and say that. Jeff Saturday, Hall of Fame center who knows the game and played it well. Both of them believe Lamar Jackson was actually worthy of the MVP this year. Also, Tom Brady, who's a voted for Lamar Jackson as MVP, as well as other greats. But guys like Dan Orlovsky, who had their mind made up, who Josh Allen is their favorite player, still wanted to vote for Josh Allen. Did we look it up? Is Saturday a Hall of Famer?
Not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer. Wow.
Not yet, I don't think.
Probably like a Colts. He probably had the Colts ceremony as a, Ring of Honor guy, whatever.
Yes, he is in the Ring of Honor.
So let's go back now to the response, because I think this is the adequate response from Dominique Foxworth and Jeff Saturday to why, yes, you can contort yourself into a way in which you can call Josh Allen the MVP. But if we were keeping it G, if we did a blind resume and we put this up to the test, it would clearly be in favor of number 8 with the Ravens.
We disagree on this side of the table. Did he say most valuable player for his team? Is this MVP of the league or of the Bills?
Gosh. So, I think I'm glad that we have Dan here to defend him and the people who did this, but it does feel like you're trying to split the baby. Like, you don't got the heart to say what you actually want to say. I think both of them had MVP caliber seasons, but it feels like you are trying to find some little semantics trapdoors. You can give this to him and that to them, because you don't actually want to say what you really want to say.
Which is what?
Lamar Jackson had the best season this year. And maybe you could argue
but that's not the award, Don.
See, this is the semantics foolishness that we do. This is what you do. You say value. And the cool thing about value, it gives us on these shows a way to argue, because you can twist it and turn it any way you want. Normally, MVP means who's the best damn dude in the league.
Yeah.
And to me, obviously, Josh Allen had an MVP caliber season. But the best damn dude in the league this year was the guy who was first team All-Pro.
Clearly, Lamar Jackson did have the better year. Players who were asked this said Lamar Jackson's the MVP. When they did the player vote, current NFL players says, yes, Lamar is MVP, but Josh Allen gets the award. He's the first Bills player to get it since 1991. So this is not to rain on his parade. It is just to say this. When we start to let biases and we start to let favoritism murky the water on legacy-building awards and legacy-building accolades, we get into a very dangerous territory. So I'm glad that the Pro Football Hall of Fame voters didn't let their, rose-colored glasses and their view of Eli Manning, who's a media darling and is one of America's sweethearts, get in the way of making him an undeserving first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. And I'm a little disappointed in people like Dan Orlovsky and other MVP voters for giving Josh Allen the MVP award, not because he didn't deserve an MVP. I'm saying he's not an MVP-worthy player, but Lamar Jackson was clearly the MVP over him, C-Cat. And I know you are kind of split on this. You're a Ravens fan, but you also think Josh Allen's the better quarterback. If you look at it as objectively as you can, who do you think actually had the better season this year?
Who had the better? See, I honestly don't think Dan Orlovsky's crazy. I think that it's very apparent where if a guy carries 50 pounds, 100 yards, that's impressive. But if a guy carries 75 pounds, 95 yards, I think that is a little bit more impressive. That's what I see here with the Ravens having much more all-pro talent on their team surrounding Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen having less of that all-pro talent surrounding him with the Bills. I think it's the best of both worlds between weighing these stats as important as possible and weighing these wins as important as possible. So I'm splitting the baby. Like Dominique Foxworth says, I am completely okay. We talked about this a couple months ago. I said I would give co-MVPs. And I guess giving a first-team All-Pro to one guy and giving the MVP to another guy is as close to that as possible. So I have no problem with this, even if they flipped it. If it was Lamar as MVP, Josh Allen as first-team All-Pro, I'm okay with either.
My last question to you would be this. Would your opinion change at all if Lamar had 0 MVPs and Josh Allen had 2?
I guess we don't live in that world. I can't answer that theoretical because we don't live in that time. Maybe there would be, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe I'd be strong enough to say it wouldn't change my mind. Maybe I'd be weak enough to say it would.
Lamar Jackson, the first player in NFL history to lead the league both in passer rating and QBR, but not be named the MVP. We'll see how this stuff plays out as their careers continue on, but congrats to Josh Allen for getting his first piece of hardware. And also, congrats to Joe Burrow. He's stuffing the trophy case these days. Did you see? Did you see?
Yes, I saw.
Another Comeback Player of the Year award.
He had a good head over shoulders about that, a good sense of humor, saying you don't want to be nominated for that award twice.
Joe Burrow won a lot of points for me over this past week. Him not leaning into the whole ref stuff, him being a real competitor and not a whiny baby like his fans or other sports media types that don't want to see the Chiefs win. He's a real competitor. And he also, he doesn't take himself too seriously. So shout out to Joe Burrow, 2-time comeback player of the year winner. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline here on Theoretically Speaking. Join the conversation by hitting us up, 888-760-3776. That's how you tap in, baby. That's how you tap in on Super Friday. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Jam-packed show today. We have our guy Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, pulling up on the other side for some Who Missed the Cut, as well as, again, a 3-time Super Bowl champion making his Theoretically Speaking debut. And dare I say, a guy who deserved to be a Super Bowl MVP but had it robbed away by his teammate. Just absolutely stolen right from his heart. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift with endless possibilities. Give a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. Breakers gift cards let you treat the one who matters most to the things they love the most, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of on- and off-site boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler's Steakhouse. What's even better, for a limited time, when you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach and remind them why they fell in love with you in the first place. Visit thebreakers.com today.
DQ Grill and Chill, always your Valentine for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, the Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing, blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Make sure you pick up your Cupid cake, a great Valentine's Day gift, with DQ Grill and Chill's custom red velvet or a specific flavor for your liking. $13.99 through Valentine's Day. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
The 2024 Land Rover Discovery, built for those who seek both adventure and luxury. With 2.9% APR for 48 months, now is the perfect time to drive into your next journey. For well-qualified buyers, that's as low as $17.92 a month per $1,000 financed. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today off Okeechobee Boulevard or head over to LandRoverPalmBeach.com and take home the 2024 Discovery today.
Good
people, it's Theo Dorsey. Spring training at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is less than a month away. Mini plans are the best way to maximize your St. Louis Cardinals and Miami Marlins game day experiences. Packages start at just $75 and can be customized for the games that you want. Get access to premium games like Cardinals versus Yankees on March 9th or Marlins Red Sox on March 14th. Purchase your mini plans at the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Can't make it to New Orleans for the big game? Join us at Duffy's Sports Grill with 2 ways to score big on Sunday, February 9th. Duffy's Big Game Day experience, starting at just $25, includes a guaranteed front row seat, complimentary welcome drink, touchdown tots, official Duffy swag, and more. Tailgating on your home turf? Pre-order your game day eats and score double MVP points. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
Attention business owners, the next several months are going to be super busy. Why not let us take some of the burden off of you? Get the help you need from Intelligent Office in Palm Beach Gardens. Professional live receptionists to answer, screen, and forward all of your calls to you live. Why do you need a virtual assistant? No high salaries, no holidays or sick pay, no call-outs, no turnover, and no additional equipment. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to learn more how we can help you streamline your day.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
When Patrick Surtain Sr. made the Pro Bowl, it was the same year that LeBron James, you know the name, he averaged 27, 7, and 7 in the NBA. Last night, Patrick Surtain Jr. won Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. And this year in the NBA, LeBron James, same guy, where his pops, and now the son is winning awards in the NFL. LeBron averaging 24, 8, and 9. That's some longevity right there from your Ohio brother, Todd.
That is called longevity, consistency, and spectacular.
It is the LeBron James 30 for 30 or documentary or docuseries I can't wait for, because I know he's been literally – there's been some purposeful and intentional moments, but then the unintentional ones are going to be even more hilarious. The story of LeBron James and the legacy continues to grow. Also, always growing is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. All you do is pick more or less on between 2 and 6 different players. And again, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. All right, run your game all season long, and Prize Picks is not just football, hockey, baseball, soccer, any sports you love. Prize Picks is going to have it right there on your app at your fingertips. Use promo code THEOD. Use the promo code THEOD. You get a free $50 after you play your $5 lineup, and it's as simple as this. We've given away some for the big game already. Jalen Hurts' rush attempts, that stat projection right now, Todd, it's sitting at 9. Last time they played in the big game against 15. The Chiefs, 15 rushes.
Ooh, I'm taking that.
More.
I'm taking that
It's
one.
that simple. So that's one of them. And then you go to a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who's been using his legs more all postseason long, and his rush attempts is, last time I checked, right around 7.5 more. If it's not kneel downs, it's going to be scrambles.
Yep.
Those are the kind of ways you build a lineup, and when you build that lineup together, you can win a lot of money. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits right into your account this sports season. Prize Picks, run your game, and remember, promo code THEOD. That voice you hear now is earlier than typical on a Friday, but this is Super Friday. We do things different on Super Friday. Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, joining on the Super Friday. You are coming off of your Ohio State Buckeyes national championship, still riding high with football season. How do you who are you rooting for this Super Bowl here? Because everybody's anti-Chiefs unless you're a Chiefs fan, and I know you kind of somewhere in the middle here.
I am in the middle. I gotta go. You gotta remember, there's an Ohio tie to the Philadelphia Eagles, and more importantly, an alumnus of mine is the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Forget about that. Yeah,
Sirianni is a Mountain Union Purple Raider.
Yeah.
A little bit of why I got the purple on today. So, Theo, I most likely think Kansas City is going to win.
There you go.
I'm rooting for Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what?
He's thumbs down.
Yeah. We don't like that around here on Theoretically Speaking. But that's cool. I get it. You got your time. What about Travis Kelce? He's a Cleveland guy.
Yeah, you know, but he's winning in life right now, right? So he don't need any more pats on the back, right?
Kelce went Hollywood. I think he forgot where he came from, Todd.
His literal podcast is named after the place he comes from.
Yeah.
That's
semantics. I like his brother a lot. His brother gets my fandom all day. I like Travis as well. I cannot wait for him to get the Pat Riley special of the 3-peat.
There you go.
Hey.
And as Heat fans,
we all win.
Our guy gets paid if the Chiefs get the win.
Our guy's winning this week, right?
Yes.
Like he got rid of Jimmy. The trade is there. We're getting some assets back. We're getting under the salary cap or the luxury tax, and he's going to get paid.
Yes.
Can't believe it.
Get it done, Mahomes.
Yeah.
We need Pat Riley in a good mood.
I'm kind of thinking how these funds that Pat Riley gets from releasing the licensing for 3-peat to the NFL, what if it somehow, some way convinces because of better facilities or they roll out the red carpet for a new free agent and it somehow makes the Heat a winner in this?
It is.
But you see it tangible.
So I would say this. You don't think Pat Riley's going to be in a better mood, more amicable to players, create a better workplace environment for people and be just – because, sometimes when you're an old dude, you get a little bit, stubborn, you get a little angry, you get irritable. This will kind of like
he's been that way for 2 decades.
I know he's been that way since he was born. Damn it!
Well, it's like an 11-year-old inviting all of his favorite athletes and actors and movie stars to his birthday party, and they'll hang out in his dreams. Like that's what it sounds like. And Pat Riley talks to the Chiefs, and I get what I want. That's Theo Dorsey's kind of dream right now.
I'm loving it.
Well, I have a spot for him to use some of those funds.
Oh, yeah.
Talk
to me. What you got?
He needs to invest in the Yellow Flamingo Club.
Hey!
And bring some people up.
Come on. The Yellow Flamingo Club. And Todd, you're talking about not just any Yellow Flamingo Club. You're talking about the one at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach.
Yes,
it's
sir.
coming to PGA National in Palm Beach Gardens. What? How many weeks away are we now?
No. 17 days.
17 days.
Graduated from
we
weeks
can't even say
months
weeks
out.
anymore.
No,
we have to say
you
days.
can, but we got to say I'm into days.
Yeah,
I've been into days for quite some time.
We're days counting. So the cognizantclassic.com is where you can find your tickets. What's the latest? Because I know Media Day was yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
And it looked like a lot of fun, a lot of activations. What's the latest with the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach?
Yeah, yesterday was great. It was good to finally start putting some players out there. So everybody saw at least the first 4 big names that we put out, which I think sets us up to have a really, really strong field. But 14 of the top 50, Sepp Straka, Nick Taylor, 2025 winners already going to be in the field. Minwoo Lee, obviously, is a big personality, and the kids on the social apps like him a lot because let him cook, right?
There you go, let him cook.
I saw the hats out today. He had like a flock of people in the same shirt and the Let Him Cook Minwoo Lee hat.
Let him cook. And then we did Shane Lowry, so the big Irishman that is in this every single year. So it's fun. We've got Ricky, Camilo, Luke Donald, locals that are in it. So there'll be more announcements coming soon. But the big announcement is, and I think this went out a little bit earlier today, Bear Trap. Friday and Saturday sold out. So great support from the community. Thursday, very close to selling out. Sunday, very close to selling out. So
what does that mean then? If I'm somebody that wants to be a part of the Bear Trap action, I'm limited right now to Thursday and Sunday because I waited too late, but can I get in on it?
You can get in on Thursday and Sunday right now, but once it's gone, it's gone.
Okay.
Right? And so I would expect probably in the next 24 to 36 hours, those 2 days are gone as well.
Yeah.
We're not going to be opening up more for 2025, right? And so where you have to pivot to, you got to pivot to some of the other hospitality experiences or the grounds passes, right? Which is still going to put on a wonderful opportunity. But you still have the CIBC Champions Club, which is over on 17. And then again, the granddaddy of them all, the Yellow Flamingo Club, which is, again, Butcher's Club, structure on 18, structure on 17 green as well. Top-notch hospitality. So still are opportunities in there, but if you want Bear Trap, do it now.
I like it. So there it goes again. TheCognizantClassic.com. That's how you tap in to get those tickets. You see they are flying off the shelves. Do not get left behind because theoretically speaking, we'll be in the house.
That's right.
We absolutely will. Speaking of, you know what it is. It's a Friday. It's a Super Friday. That means a super edition of Who Missed the Cut.
Oh, my goodness. This is not good. It's beyond hard to watch.
4 will enter. 3 will survive. It's time for Who Missed the Cut? Presented by the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, February 27th through March 2nd.
The big game is this Sunday, a rematch of Super Bowl 57, Chiefs-Eagles. It got us thinking, which professional sports leagues actually have the best postseason in general? Not just the championship game or series, but postseason between the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, and of course, I think I already said it, but Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. Did I name all 4 of them?
NHL, MLB,
NBA,
NFL.
NFL. There you go. The big 4 in America pro sports. We're going to be 4 enter. Only 3 can survive. One of them will miss the cut. It's my turn to start and give my immunity to one of the 4. And I know the easy call should be the NFL playoffs, especially as a Chiefs fan, because, that's where we live. That's where we kick it at.
The season starts for the Chiefs in the playoffs, so you have a pretty short season. It's weird.
And the AFC Championship game, actually.
And it's been very profitable.
It has been. Oh, my goodness. So here's what I will say. That's too easy. That's too easy to give vulnerability or immunity to.
He doesn't need your blessing.
I got to turn my head to and my focus to something that has given me life every single spring going into the summer, and something that I held near and dear to my heart. Most people don't even wake up to the NBA until like trade deadline time. It used to be Christmas. Now it's like trade deadline time. And when you really get to watch the stars shine in those 7-game series in the National Basketball Association's playoffs, that's when stars are actually made. So I'm going to give immunity to the NBA playoffs, mostly because not only is it a great product and you get a true champion, but also people miss everything that happens from like the first 4 months of the season, damn it.
I do think an important criteria is step up from these respective leagues' regular seasons.
Yeah.
Where you're going from regular season NBA, not very desirable, not very in the news. You go to playoffs and it's a little bit different.
Everything is different. There's literally playoff Jimmy, right? Playoff P.
Yep.
People play totally different. Stars elevate their games in the playoffs, and the role players tend to kind of tuck their tails. I absolutely love the stage that is the NBA playoffs. That's safe.
Boom. Done.
So now
the host has spoken.
Right. Now it gets a little contentious because you have the NFL, which is king, but that's king every single Sunday, versus the other 2 leagues in Major League Baseball and then also in the NHL, where there is an uptick in play and an uptick in watching for the postseason.
Well, again, I think based upon what we all know, NFL's passed through too, right?
Yeah,
so it's
really? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you, I love the NFL. Who doesn't? I wouldn't be in this industry if I didn't love football, love the NFL. But there are some Week 11s and Week 14s of a full pack slate, a good game in every window, that I almost get more joy out of than Wild Card Weekend. Than some divisional weekends if they don't live up to the billing. Because sometimes the quantity makes up for the quality. So I'm not as sold on the NFL playoffs
talking about
as
your
you guys
life?
see.
I was about to say. But the Super Bowl is the biggest stage. It's literally where Kendrick Lamar is going to finish off Drake, apparently.
I love ball. Do you love ball?
Yeah, I love ball.
Todd, do you love ball?
I do.
Super Bowl, unquestionably, devalues the ball aspect to the Super Bowl when he bringing around everything else compared to any other league.
Very commercialized.
It's very the commercials, the parties, the food, the halftime performer.
It's the biggest thing in American culture.
It is.
It's the biggest thing in American culture. There's nothing else that compares to it.
Okay, how about this? Before we try and knock off the NFL, that was early. You are literally throwing a Hail Mary in the first quarter.
I'm reading the tea leaves. I see 5 minutes from now, I'm going to be sad I didn't speak up.
Well, let's do this first. Can we decide which of the 2 is lesser between Major League Baseball and the Stanley Cup playoffs?
You know what? I'm a baseball guy. of this show, I am the baseball guy. But even I have to admit, in Major League Baseball, you don't get the truly best team winning it every single year.
Yeah.
It almost rarely, if ever, happens because it's whoever's hot. Someone who doesn't pitch that well throughout the season somehow gives you 7 innings of shutout ball.
Whose bats go cold, whose arms stay hot. I mean, look, I'm a baseball guy too. Brother played professional baseball for 10 years, right? So I love ball.
Learn something new about this guy every day.
Love baseball, right? Near and dear. I tend to agree. Unless your team is in it, you're not necessarily tuning in to watch somebody else's team or an outer market.
Yeah.
The other thing that hurts us in this marketplace, Marlins ain't been in it for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, back to your other criteria, is the postseason substantially better than the regular season? And I would say NHL hockey playoff.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Big time different.
So can we do this then, just for continuity's sake? We pitch that the Stanley Cup playoffs is safe now.
I think so.
And we put the NFL postseason up next to Major League Baseball postseason.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I think so too.
I'm cool with it as
cool
well
with that
because,
too.
again, what would hockey be without the Stanley Cup playoffs? I mean, people get insane around that stuff.
Insane.
All right. I can't speak on behalf of the Major League Baseball postseason as much as y'all because I'm not as inclined. I don't like it as much. It still doesn't pull me in. But the only time I'm actually sitting down in front of my couch watching full baseball games would be the postseason. So it gives it some kind of credence, but, like, give me a reason not to right now because the NFL playoffs, you're not missing that. If I told you right now, C-Cat, you have to pick between the two, you're going to have to miss one of those two postseasons, either the NFL's or Major League Baseball. Forget about whether or not your team is in it. Which one are you giving up?
I'm looking within in my heart of hearts. As much as I want to stick up for the little guy, I simply cannot. I would pick the NFL postseason if I can only watch one of them. It's less games even.
Yeah.
I still would.
I think that's the question at hand, and I would tend to agree. As much as, again, I loved watching the Yankees roll through, get beat by the Dodgers. If I missed a pitch, if I missed an inning, if I missed a game, I wouldn't have felt it. I would feel like I've missed out on something if I didn't know what happened in Texans versus so-and-so in the wild card.
Right.
I would feel like I missed out.
Like, imagine you woke up from a coma 10 years from now. One of the first sports questions you're going to have is going to have more to do with who won the Super Bowls, not who won the Major League Baseball World Series.
I missed out on the 4-touchdown comeback between the Jaguars and Chargers. I didn't watch a second of that game because I had work obligations in Daytona Beach calling football. I will never schedule something on an NFL playoff weekend again.
Yeah.
Case is rested.
I think it's over, and Jalen in the YouTube Prize Picks chat is having a fit. He is fighting for Major League Baseball, but I'm sorry to Jalen, and I'm sorry to the Fall Classic, but Major League Baseball. You've missed the cut.
This is not good. It's beyond sad to watch.
It's sad. And you know what? Them's is the breaks.
Yep. we say it every week. Just because you finished fourth doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
You just missed the cut this week.
Out of those, it's great competition. It's great competition. Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Thanks for pulling up on us again. Again, 17 days away from the Cognizant Classic. So get your tickets at thecognizantclassic.com. Have a good weekend, man.
You too, man. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Stick around on the happy hour. On the other side, we have, again, the debut of a Super Bowl champ, a 3-time Super Bowl champ, pulling up to Theoretically Speaking to talk a little ball here, as well as some more NFL talent. It's about to get sick in here, man. I'm about to learn some ball for the first time since y'all on YouTube saying I don't know it.
I'm just saying. I just had to bring up the ball conversation.
Yeah.
It's not even a matter of knowing. It's a matter of loving.
It is.
Sometimes you got to make decisions that prove that you love ball more than you know ball.
And you know what? A place where I know they love ball at, don't matter what shape that ball is in, Kaiser University. Talking about a lacrosse ball, talking about a basketball, a football, talking about what other balls are there? A wiffle ball?
Cricket ball.
Cricket ball. I'm sure one of those balls is not called a ball, but you know what? All of their 22 national championships are called national titles. They won all of those in the NAIA across their different sports. We're talking about lacrosse, swimming and diving, and of course the 2023 football champions right there at Kaiser University. They play most of their athletics right there at the flagship campus of Kaiser in West Palm Beach. 60-plus regular season conference titles, 60-plus conference tournament championships. They got a Learfield Cup trophy, baby. Come win with the champs. Defend the beach. KUSeahawks.com. That's how you can tap in with Kaiser University Athletics, KUSeahawks.com. The happy hour on the other side. We're gonna dip into some really big Super Bowl stories here, as well as talk about a new podcast and a little bit of the Patriot Way. Stick around. That's Seacon. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
DQ Grill and Chill, always your Valentine for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, the Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Make sure you pick up your Cupid cake, a great Valentine's Day gift, with DQ Grill and Chill's custom red velvet or a specific flavor for your liking. $13.99 through Valentine's Day. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Time now for the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Every Player of the Week is eligible to win a scholarship at the end of the year. This year, a $25,000 scholarship will be awarded to an athlete, with $10,000 going to the winner's high school athletic department. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond. Here's Cade Chumsland.
Our Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week is Benjamin Boys soccer captain Ford Cash. In the district championship last week, Ford scored 3 goals, breaking the all-time Benjamin Boys soccer goals record. Bucks won 4-3, and here's Ford's reaction to breaking the record.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good accomplishment. I'm pretty happy, but big thanks to all my teammates, all the boys assisting me. It's not possible without them, but yeah, it's definitely something when I found out the record a few weeks ago, I was striving to get, and it's a good feeling.
Congratulations, Ford, on being selected the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week. Good luck to you and the rest of the Buccaneers in the state tournament.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win some real cash. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
It's Super Week on ESPN 106.3, live from the Big Easy. All this week, super coverage surrounding the big game. It all culminates with Kansas City vying to be the first team ever to win 3 straight titles, taking on Philadelphia, right here on ESPN 106.3. Super Week is presented by the Breakers Palm Beach, the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, Hard Rock Bet, Hurricane Grill and Wings, and Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is still Super Friday here on Theoretically Speaking. It is your boy Theo Dorsey right back at you here in the happy hour. We're cruising into the happy hour today. We've got some very special guests. We're amongst football royalty right here in the ESPN West Palm Studios out here in City Place. So we'll address that. C-Cat's on the other side of the ones and twos. On the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. And on the Prize Picks YouTube stream, you can see we got our guy, James White, at Sweet Feet White, James White of the New England Patriots. What's up, man? Let me make sure I can hear you. You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good over there. I think they have my mic muted, or am I good?
Nah, you're good. I can hear you. I can also see all them kicks behind you, man. Do you have enough shoes right now?
Yeah,
okay. How many?
Too many. I can't keep count.
Yeah. Slow down.
Probably over 200 at the very least.
Slow down. And also, your co-host on what is the Money Down podcast is our guy, Sojourn Shelton II, also a South Florida native, former NFL cornerback, and joining us with Saints gear on. What's up with that, dog?
I just wore the Saints hat just because the Super Bowl in New Orleans. It kind of matched the fit, so I just threw it on.
Yeah, he just liked that little way it splashed off the hat. He just liked the colors today. This is gonna be a fun happy hour here. I'm gonna start it off like this. Sojourn, James, y'all have to agree on this because this is a tradition we do in the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking. I need a cocktail of the day. And it can't be just like a Jack and Coke. You know, give me one of those craft cocktails that is a go-to for you that we can kind of commemorate here. James, you want to start it?
Yeah. So know what it's gonna be. Bahama Mama. That's for the Bahamas. My family, we make those right at the crib. And never go wrong with that.
Is that it?
Listen, well, for me, I'm gonna go sidecar.
Okay, but I like a sidecar. I like a
sidecar. But his family made the best Bahama Mamas, man. Probably like 2-3 years ago, we used to just be kicking it at the crib, watching ball, playing a video game.
Yeah.
And we had some good playing cards. We had some good times off his people's Bahama Mama. So yeah, that got it for sure.
You know what? So. I want to go sidecar, but you know what? Because it's unique, I haven't heard it given out yet. I'll go Bahama Mama as the drink of the day, the cocktail of the hour. My curious question is, you said they make good Bahama Mamas. I know rum is in it, but what the hell else is going into that thing?
James, you got to tell him. I don't know. D put.
Coconut rum. Was it like Bacardi rum? Freaking grenadine, pineapple juice, orange juice. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's good tropical drink, good summer drink. And I ain't gonna hate on it. I haven't ordered it yet. I know C-Cat, my guy C-Cat, you're a big Bahama Mama guy?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
You never had one, Theo?
I feel like I probably had one, but I haven't had like a real craft one. That's the difference. I probably have had Bahama Mama flavored, like ready to drink type joint.
Nah, you missing out, bro. Next time you go somewhere where you trust the drink, order that, and then we'll
maybe y'all gotta put me on. I know where I need to order. You said
his people's right there. You'll be floating good, man. Be feeling good.
See, I'm locked in now. I'm gonna have to see what's good with it. All right, so y'all join us obviously not only because we would love to collab with y'all and talk some sports, but it is we're 2 days out from the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
History might be made on Sunday if the Chiefs are able to pull out that three-peat. Like how excited? We'll start with you, Sojourn. How excited are you for this here matchup? It's a rematch of a couple of years ago, but we also got some of the best teams we've seen in the past few years.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City, being able to have the opportunity to do something that we've never seen before. They just got to close the deal out. It's gonna be tough. We're playing a really, really good Philly team, a team that can score a lot of points, can do it in different ways. I mean, let's talk about Saquon right now, right? Ooh. Like the year he's been having, what he's been able to do, the weapons on the outside with D. Smith, AJ, tight ends. I mean, I don't really see too many holes in that Philly offense, and then as well on the defense side of the ball. But kind of like 2 years ago, I said the same thing. Like I was sitting there and just asking myself, how is Patrick Mahomes going to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like don't really have as many superstars. Travis Kelce getting a little bit older on the outside, and he found a way. So, but I'm rolling with. I know we probably will do predictions a little bit later on, but I'm rolling with KC, man. I want to see the three-peat. I want to see the dynasty. It's time to give somebody else the floor and kind of take over that next step from TB12.
Right. I was about to say, James.
Hey, you ready to hand it off to him like that?
What's up, though, Jay? So you obviously were part of that Patriots dynasty that haunted the NFL and every other fan base for all of those years. You won 3 Super Bowls with the Pats. I still say, and even Tom Brady agrees, we should be calling you James White's Super Bowl MVP. I mean, what's your first of all? Let me get your take on that. I'm sure people ask you about it all the time. You had 14 catches, like 129 all-purpose yards. You have a Super Bowl record, 20 points scored in that Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl when y'all came back, and all 20 of those points came after y'all were trailing 28-3. I know Brady's the man, but you were the essential part of the game plan there. What's been the back and forth about the MVP with you?
Look at my daughter trying to get in the camera. But, I mean, I very well definitely thought I could have been, MVP of the game. Tom threw for like 500 yards. I had a bunch of touchdowns. Just wanted to be a big part of the game, help my team win it. I think regardless of having the trophy or not, people always remember me and my performance from that game. So, and they think I'm the MVP regardless. So, no big deal for me.
No lie, y'all. But as we were prepping for this, I had assumed you actually did have that MVP. And when I went back through it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. We all thought he should be MVP, including Tom Brady, who apparently he gifted you the truck afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, they actually had stopped doing, like, the MVP cars that year, but I ended up going on Conan O'Brien's show. I got a little Ford F-150.
Yeah, you still got it?
No, that ain't my speed. I tried it. I got it lifted.
Yeah.
All that jump made it look cool. And I had to, like, climb to get in. I'm like, yeah, this ain't my speed.
I totally get you because I wouldn't be rolling around in one of those either unless they would pay for me to do so. Then I'm all in. So Conan, hit me up. Yeah.
So crazy thing, Theo, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the biggest Falcon fan. I've been a Falcon fan since I was in the 4th grade.
Where does that come from, though? Aren't you a South Florida guy?
So I ended up moving to Atlanta my 4th grade year with my dad.
Gotcha.
And that was DVD Done Vic Duncan. That's when Vic was Vic, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward now, James being my best friend, I get to watch him in the Super Bowl play my favorite team. If you could imagine 28-3.
Oh man,
I was showing my behind. And just for
but here's the thing, pump the brakes. Were you rooting for the Falcons or were you rooting? I guess James, you already had a Super Bowl ring at that point.
Yeah, no, I was rooting for the Falcons 100%. Like I wanted James to do. Listen, I wanted James to do well and do good, and he ultimately did.
Yeah.
But I wanted us to win that game because we've never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
We've never been to a Super Bowl in my lifetime, or I was probably a kid back in like the 90s and whatnot. So, but yeah, the performance he had, and then us losing the way we did, it was kind of heartbreaking. But at the same time, again, happy to see my best friend, right? Like, go crazy in the Super Bowl, should have won Super Bowl MVP, get all the accolades. That was pretty dope to see, but definitely a heartbreaker on this side.
I was about to say, what does that feel like? Because as the Patriots are chipping away at the lead, every single time it was your boy scoring the points, where you're like on those plays, you're like, what?
Yeah, it happens so fast too.
Yeah.
Like, because again, 28-3, that's a lot of points that you gotta make up and come back with.
Supposed to be over.
And then just to start to see it, but I still felt like we had the momentum. I mean, even if you watch that game, that last series, where I think they take a holding penalty and they take a sack instead of just kicking the field goal. You kick the field goal, it's game, right?
Man.
So it's just so crazy, and just to see like how sometimes coaches get a little ahead of themselves in those big time moments, and again cost us something that Atlanta hasn't been the same since that game. So.
Right. And you could argue that not only have they not been the same since that game, but they're a little bit more of what they were before that game, which is Atlanta sports. So sorry that you had to suffer that fate. James, you were part of that and more of what y'all did in your run. You played in 4 Super Bowls, or at least the Patriots were in 4 Super Bowls during your tenure there, and y'all won 3. You were part of that dynastic run. How much different was it for you going into like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th Super Bowl versus that very first Super Bowl experience? And how much do you think that'll play into the fact that the Chiefs might have a bit of an edge there knowing just how these 2 weeks and that big game goes?
Yeah, for me, I'm very fortunate to have played in quite a few Super Bowls. My first experience, I actually didn't play. Super Bowl 49 was inactive. Watched that from the sideline. Tough year as a competitor, not really playing, contributing to the team, but I got to see what it takes, all year long, the discipline, the execution, and what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And then 2 years later, I got my opportunity, Super Bowl 51. You definitely get to block out, all the rest of the distractions. You know what the week's going to be like. You know what practice is going to be like. You know what, getting the tickets, and everything. Tickets and everything else is going to be like as far as getting prepared for that. So the expectation coming to the game is just play and go out there and have fun and do what you need to do to win games. So I think the more opportunities you get to play in those Super Bowls, the better off you'll be, and you just go out there and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I notice how much it seems like, especially when guys have that first experience versus like the second, third, or fourth, how they partially get jaded on it. They also have the amount of intel to know, okay, I stopped talking about people with tickets at this date. I start locking in on ball at this moment. I don't go out and party in those weeks leading up as well, because that can get you into some trouble and whatnot. So it's interesting, that angle of it. I'm also curious, too, for you specifically, the first time that y'all go out after it and you get the win, but you didn't have a role per se in the victory, how much different does that feel? Because you still get the end goal, right? You're still crowned a Super Bowl champion, but you didn't get to play a part in it versus the 28-3 game where you literally were the workhorse back through the air and on the ground.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of a weird feeling, I would say, because, a lot of people like to say you're the AO of the group project, but you ain't putting no work in, like that type of thing. So you definitely get a little bit of that. But at the same time, you understand you're there all year long, helping the team get prepared to practice. You're working hard, doing a lot of the dirty work that people don't see. So you got to come to that realization that you did put in work. Yeah, you didn't play in the games and everything, but you still had a viable option on the team. But it's definitely a difference in 2 years later actually getting to be a part of the game and being a huge part of it. Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling.
We got two former NFL players in James White, Sojourn Shelton, joining us here today on Theoretically Speaking. We're in the happy hour. Y'all two paired up on the Money Down podcast here, and y'all have been making some waves. I saw you had Clement on yesterday. James, you just celebrated a birthday and whatnot. What sparked, Sojourn, you could tell me, what sparked this idea to come out with this podcast, and how can people find it, and what do y'all talk about most?
Yeah, so, 2 years ago, or last year, during the season of college football, obviously me, James, and Warren, our other hosts, we all have in common just building our relationship from the University of Wisconsin days.
Yeah.
So we had a podcast that kind of really sat in on that and talked about Badger football. And once we were done, we wanted to continue to because it was therapeutic for us. We were truly all best friends. We all talk every single day. We was talking on my drive here, and we wanted to keep it going. So we sat down, and Warren actually, it's like a light over his head. He came and he was like, how about the Money Down podcast? And we was like, definitely, like that sounds great. We talk about football. Obviously, the money down, third down is super important in ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a couple of days later after that, we sat down and we was like, money down doesn't just apply to football. It apply to life, right? Like everybody at some point goes through a money down where they got to go all in on a situation, whether that be a job, school, whatever it is. If it's a task and a roadblock ahead of you, you got to try to finesse and get your way through that money down. And that's how we came about with the podcast name. So we definitely, during the season and during sports time, we talk about sports, but at the same time we want to get guests on that can kind of share their story and share their money down moments, because you never know, there's people all over just listening, to take their situation and can kind of apply what they heard from LeGarrette Blount, Corey Clement. We had Adam Scheffner on not too long ago.
Yeah,
we've had so many people on that can kind of just give people some game and some knowledge with just life in general. I know next week we got Donnie Wahlberg coming on. Like we have people of influence that you can listen to and just learn something from.
So I got a question for both of y'all then, because I got a money down situation coming up this weekend. I'm a Chiefs fan. I also am a huge fan of my soulmate and my wife, Ashley, who we got married this time last year. So Super Bowl Sunday is actually my first anniversary. So you want to talk about a money down? This is 3rd and 26 in the Super Bowl, down by 8.
You need it.
Yeah, and I'm in my territory. My question to y'all is, how would you even approach that? I know I'm only 2 days away, so I already got most of my game plan in place. But just give me some free game on how I can help, massage through this weekend, be able to watch the big game, and also, take care of the lady.
I don't even know if y'all got any advice for you, man. You just gotta root for your team. It's all the day. And whatever happens.
I ain't gonna lie.
Whoever wins got bragging rights.
I ain't gonna lie, Theo. You gotta take care of wifey first.
I know.
So
I know.
I mean, the fan, being a fan of the Chiefs, listen, they ain't going nowhere. The way that's looking, they'll be back in the Super Bowl at least another maybe two times. So
yeah.
But man, you gotta enjoy the game too. I don't know. I like James said, I don't got
hey,
advice for it.
Y'all can do some breakfast, some brunch.
Yeah. Hitting the big spots, and I'm gonna try to also, you preempt the weekend with a bunch of stuff. So I'm working on it. But yeah, that show you just how much of a money down it is. Y'all ain't even had no free game from me off the rip.
You gotta start the day. It's Friday. It's the weekend.
Yeah, trust me. Soon as we get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead and have y'all a nice dinner.
Right.
Saturday, let me see. The weather looking good. Probably hit the beach and just relax, chill. And then Sunday, I mean, the Super Bowl parties, gear up and get ready to watch your boys go.
I had to detach myself a little bit. I got to be honest. And it's easier because the Chiefs are coming off of back-to-back Super Bowls. Had to detach myself a little bit from the result preemptively. I'm protecting my own emotions and feelings. Because the last thing I want to do is ruin our first anniversary night by being pissed off about football. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, you from South Florida?
No, I'm from Houston. I'm from Houston.
So Houston, Kansas City fan.
Okay, that's a good question.
That's
a good
how
question.
Come about?
All right, guy with the Saints hat on. That's a good question. Since you got all these questions, I'm from Houston. I actually was born in Kansas, and there's a funny story about how I actually had a fan free agency. I grew up a Panthers fan. There's a lot going on here, James. There's a lot going on here, Sojourn. Like, I know it's a lot to explain. I grew up a Panthers fan, and on the radio about 3 years ago, the Panthers were considering bringing in Baker Mayfield at quarterback. I already was ticked off at the new Panthers owner. Tepper had been terrible up to that date and going forward. He still is bad.
It's been bad.
I had been mad about the trajectory of the Carolina Panthers, and it was easier for me to separate myself from that franchise because, number one, I didn't grow up around Carolina. I didn't have these emotional ties where my dad passed it down to me. It was something I chose as a kid because the Panthers played in a Super Bowl in Houston when I was a young pup. So I said on radio, and I'm a man of my word, I said if they actually go out and get Baker Mayfield, I am going to disassociate and denounce myself from Panthers fandom. I'm going to be a fan-free agent. And at this time, I didn't think it was actually going to happen. And then like a couple of months passed, they got desperate, and they brought Baker Mayfield in, and therein lied my fan-free agency. I will say this. I know you're going to criticize me for picking the team that is now in the midst of a dynasty. I grew up loving the Chiefs as a kid, though, because I had my roots in Kansas, but then also this was the offseason the Chiefs traded away Tyreek Hill, and everybody said it was all over for Mahomes. I want everybody to remember that. So I didn't expect us to be in a third straight Super Bowl about to win it and have the three-peat. So that's just my defense. Is that a feasible defense, or do y'all want to kind of take shots at me now?
James, what you think? I don't know.
I mean, it's questionable. I ain't gonna lie. To switch your allegiance to the team, with arguably the top quarterback. I mean, it's at the time, Tom working his way out the last couple of years.
Yeah. It was a good decision, though.
But it's a great decision.
And I got birthright. So damn it, I got birthright.
You do, but my thing is, you could have waited. Bryce got a promising future.
I like him.
Bryce got a promise. So is it any possibility?
No. But you got to remember too. I did grow up with a lot of love for the Chiefs. Like I love Dante Hogg and Gonzalez. Like back in the day, Priest Holmes, one of my favorite backs of all time, and I had Chiefs gear as a kid as well. I just wasn't a fan. It was a team I repped because it had my birthplace. So it was already near and dear to my heart. In fact, I don't know if y'all remember the playoff game, Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, they was down. They was down a whole bunch of points.
Yeah, that was back when I was even a Panthers fan. I was teaching elementary school in Houston at that time. And the day after that game, I wore my Chiefs crew neck to troll all the kids in that elementary school, just because if there's one thing I would never do is become a Houston Texans fan, and all Texans fans, I love to take any opportunity to troll. So I've been on this side. I just made it public. James, I have a question for you because you talked about how TB12 was on the way out, and then comes the dynasty that is the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. What do you think that does to the gap between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes if he does solidify this three-peat and 4 Super Bowls in 6 years?
I think Pat gets a little bit closer, but Tom still has a ways away from him, in my opinion. He has so much success for 20-plus years in the league, which is extremely hard. Be playing at the top of the league for that long, compete for Super Bowls for 20 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say with Pat Mahomes, if he wins a three-peat, that puts him in his own category for sure. And he's moving at an alarming rate to try and catch him. But, I'm biased.
Yeah.
I got to play with Tom. I know the preparation, the work, and all that stuff, his knowledge of the game, and the fear that he puts in people's, the opponent's hearts during the game. I know that, and I can feel that, and I'm sure Pat has a similar type of thing. But to me, he'll always be the greatest, regardless of how many Super Bowls Pat gets.
Joined here on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3 with James White, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and our guy Sojourn Shelton, former NFL cornerback, both South Florida natives, played some high school ball down in the enemy territory in Broward. So it's a lot of love, but it ain't much love up here in Palm Beach County for y'all, the way they all steal all our talent. I'm curious, Sojourn, who was one of the best players in the area that you remember from the Palm Beach County area when you were coming out playing high school football in Broward?
I'm gonna go Will Likely. It come right
Glade
away.
Central.
Glade Central.
Ooh.
Yeah, we played Glade Central twice.
Yeah.
The first time was we went to Glade Central, and that was an experience itself. Coming from Broward, going all the way to
the muck,
to the muck, man. It's country out there. It's nothing but muck fields and Glade Central. Well,
Yeah.
from what I seen, and we definitely we got blew out. I'll be honest.
Wait.
So I got a story, right?
Plantation?
Yeah.
Because you were a Plantation and you were St. Thomas, right?
Yeah.
James?
Yeah.
Y'all rarely came up here and lose. These days, y'all never lose the Palm Beach County team. So
listen, we pull up. This is when Glade Central was. I don't know how they are now.
Yeah.
But this is when Glade Central was Glade Central.
Yeah, they was titled.
They was yeah. So we pull up and they have us pull into the auditorium, and the AD made a comment, which was, "We gonna beat y'all, you know what, and we gonna feed y'all rabbit." And
oh my God!
And they went.
Did they make do on both promises?
Yes. Yeah, they did, bro.
How was the rabbit served? Was it fried? Was it?
It was fried. No, yeah, it was fried. It was fried. But it was just crazy to me because I never I didn't. Somebody make that comment. You don't think that's gonna happen for real. But he went through with both promises, and I can't say the next year, the following year, we end up beating them. We beat them pretty bad, but when we say best player that I played out of Palm Beach, I'm gonna go Will Likely for sure.
Played all over the field, man.
Yeah, he was a bad boy, and then also I got a chance to play because he went to Maryland. So then Maryland ended up transferring to the Big Ten, and we had a couple battles back in college too. So Will was definitely a special person. He did his thing at the high school level, and also I'm sure he's cemented in history in Maryland as far as kick return and all that stuff like that. He was super special.
Electric. What about you, James White? You obviously had a run there. Again, y'all were at these powerhouse schools in South Florida, so you probably played with a lot of talent. But who do you remember playing against out in Palm Beach County, Treasure Coast area?
I honestly don't know if we really played any teams from West Palm.
Y'all didn't make enough deep playoff runs? Was that it?
I mean, we know we was in a chip every year.
All you know is winning. You know what? Pump the brakes.
That's crazy, right?
You have an unfair life, James White. I hope you're grateful for it every day. You go from a national powerhouse in high school, and even Wisconsin's pretty good. That's running back university. You think about it as a running back for the Badgers, and then you go to the Patriots, like silver spoon, man.
Yeah, I definitely was fortunate, man. I was in the right situation pretty much my entire football career. good teams, good people, good coaches. Was able to win a lot of games. I really don't think we played too many teams from West Palm Beach. If we did, it's like usually around Broward, it would go like out to Tampa and stuff, play like Largo or something like that. But I do one of the best players that was in my era was like John Bostic.
Oh man,
he's a beast.
Yeah, that's Wellington. I mean, that's Palm Beach Central out of Wellington. That's Palm Beach County.
Yeah. He booms, hitting people, smacking people, do whatever he needed to do. Man, he's a physical player. Actually, he was my teammate in New England for a little bit too. Cool dude.
Right. He just was he recently was inducted into the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame, and he also has a Wellington Sports Academy coming to the area soon here. That's going to be a huge deal. I call it like the IMG of South Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see that little renditions he put on like IG like last year.
Yep.
That's a real deal.
It's coming and it's happening fast. One more on the way out. I know y'all got to get going. And again, if y'all want to catch more of James White and Sojourn Shelton, go to the Money Down podcast wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. Great stuff and entertaining stuff, and also you got a lot of football knowledge on that thing. And knowledge is where I want to go with this one. Who in your career, James? I'll start with you. Outside of Tom Brady, impressed you the most with just how football smart they were as a teammate? Somebody that was like, you knew they were good, but you didn't realize how well they think the game until you were in the locker room with them.
Ooh, that's tough. A lot of good ones in New England. Evan McCourty definitely up there. Dante Hightower in that category.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, he's in that category. Even Gronk, too. You know, people like to, play Gronk as this goofy, silly dude that don't know nothing. He's actually really smart. Don't let him play you. He knows the game of football.
It's a facade he's putting on?
I mean, he is a goofy dude. but he knows what he's doing, especially on that football field, from coverages to run blocks and all that stuff. Play with a lot of smart football players.
And Sojourn Shelton, you had your big run in the NFL, Wisconsin Badgers. I mean, what out of all those stops, especially in the pro league, who do you think kind of like impressed you the most and had so much game?
I'm gonna go Tyrann Mathieu off the jump.
Man,
yeah, TM7 was, and especially for myself being a kid, South Florida, knew I was gonna be a smaller guy, seeing what he did at LSU and just thinking, right, like, how is this guy so small doing this in college to people? Just the run he had was crazy, but then to get to the next level and see why he was the way he was and how successful he was, how much work he put in, not even just on the field, but how smart he was off the field. When you see those plays that he make, right, it becomes second nature to him, and it's like, okay, right, like I understand why he's so successful. But TM7, been around a lot of people, though. I'd say Darquez Denard, he won the Thorpe Award at Michigan State. Man, AJ Green was extremely special.
Yeah, really?
Knew the
Okay.
game. Yeah, I think if AJ was in a bigger market, like if he wasn't in Cincinnati, if he was in New York or something, we'll be having that conversation about AJ as far as being
one of the
best to ever play the position. So ran across a lot of smart individuals, like James said, but just to see how they translated it off the field, but into the classroom as well, it showed why they were as successful as they were on the field.
And I'm going to test y'all's football knowledge on the way out here yourselves, because I know y'all are astute ball knowers. Curious for you, too, and we'll start with you, Sojourn. Who was your MVP this year in the NFL? We saw Josh Allen won it. Who was the MVP this year?
Come on, man. LJ for sure.
Okay.
LJ.
All right. Just making sure. Making sure you got your sensibility.
It could have been Saquon, though. It could have been Saquon.
There is an argument.
It could have been a real argument for Saquon.
Especially because he also could have went ahead and broke that record but chose not to. Like, that dude there put on a show.
If they lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Ooh. I know. I was thinking the same thing.
They lose the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm Saquon, I'm a little upset.
A little hurt for him almost.
Yeah.
James?
I'll be tight.
Who's your MVP this year?
It was Lamar Jackson. I picked him to win the MVP. We did our predictions on our podcast before the year. He just had an awesome year, efficient throwing the football, protecting the football, obviously special with the ball in his hands, running around and everything like that. Just tough, They don't want to give a guy his third MVP when there's somebody else hasn't won it yet, which Josh Allen had a great year. We talked him up on the pod all year long. So people want to give him his opportunity to finally win. I don't think you should always do that just because somebody else has already won. I think that's just a bad precedent when he is the upper hand in every other category, every category when it comes to playing quarterback. Like, how did he win over another quarterback? That makes sense.
It's going to be a tough one. And also when we look back on it, like you said, it sets a bad precedent because all of the precedent before we got this MVP was that Lamar had the MVP season based on the QBR, the passer rating, all of the stats, and Josh Allen becoming the first player in 21 years to not be named first team All-Pro, but to win the MVP. Guys, I'm looking forward to more content from y'all. Looking forward to a great Super Bowl weekend. Again, the Money Down podcast. Let them know where they can find y'all. And also, I'm guessing y'all going to have some Super Bowl stuff this weekend, right?
Yeah, you got a sweet feed.
Most definitely. We're going to drop our predictions probably sometime tomorrow, maybe Sunday morning. But you can find us on IG, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're pretty much on any social platform at the Money Down Pod. Bring you a lot of, great content according to football. We have great content just about life in general, whether it's entrepreneurship, sports, coaching, physical therapy, mental health. Hope we bring you all of that.
The Money Down podcast. Again, appreciate y'all. Sojourn Shelton, James White. We are going to keep talking some NFL, keep talking some Super Bowl on the other side in the happy hour. Thanks for y'all time. Enjoy the weekend. This is Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
In South Florida, when it's time to get back in the game, there's a name you need to know. HSS Florida. HSS ranked number 1 in orthopedics for 15 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. HSS brings world-class care to Palm Beach and Wellington. Whether it's a joint replacement, sports injury, or orthopedic trauma, HSS Florida treats athletes of all ages. Visit hss.edu/Florida to schedule your consultation today. HSS Florida, where champions and everyday people alike get the care they need to stay at the top of their game.
South Florida's one and only PGA Tour event returns to the Champion Course at PGA National, February 26th through March 2nd. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches will deliver a best-in-class on-site experience featuring a variety of fan amenities alongside the premier competition. Kids 15 and under are admitted free with a ticketed adult. This can't-miss event is right around the corner. Buy your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Welcome to Recycle Right Trivia, sponsored by the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. Question 1. What belongs in the yellow recycling bin?
Newspapers, cereal boxes, magazines?
Correct! Now, blue bin. What goes in there?
Plastic bottles, aluminum cans, glass jars?
You nailed it! Remember, Palm Beach County, recycle right and stay in the game for our planet.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win some real cash. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Mansour's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Mansour's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week. Presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
Sometimes what's understood does not have to be explained, and that's exactly what happens here. Cam Ward, former Miami Hurricanes quarterback, a hopeful #1 pick. Here's his response when asked which of the top teams in this NFL draft are closest to a Super Bowl.
Who you think close to a ring out of Tennessee, Cleveland, and New York? Whichever one draft Cam Ward, that's about Gary gone.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. The Heisman finalist, the guy who has the passing touchdown record in the history of college football, Cam Ward. Whichever team drafts that man who transformed what Miami Hurricanes football looked like this year, that's the one that'll be closest to a Super Bowl. And you know what, C-Cat? I believe he's right.
That's pretty cool.
That is the EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week, brought to you by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, EDSisyes.com. I'll say this, my perfect mock draft, I'll give it to you just 1 through 5. Number 1, Tennessee gets Cam Ward. Number 2, I like the Cleveland Browns post trading off Myles Garrett to go ahead and draft Abdul Carter right there to replace him. At number 3, the New York Giants are going to get Shedeur Sanders. That is a lock. At number 4, this is where I have the Browns picking again. They get Travis Hunter because the Patriots traded for Myles Garrett. And then at 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't give a damn who they get because at that point, my top 4 is already solidified. How about we hop on the vehicle to hit the biggest hot headlines all across the nation? What they call that?
The Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Check it go. I get around.
And And to get around, obviously, is needed on a day like today because there's so much going on. Hall of Fame, Super Bowl, NBA trade deadline. Where are we going first?
Next stop.
Let's go where everybody else in sports media is except for us. New Orleans, baby. Get your jazz ready because
I like jazz.
This was a heartwarming moment on stage last night between two brothers. Shannon Sharpe on stage talking about his brother getting inducted.
My big brother Sterling. I'm the only player of 267 men that's walked through this building to my left that can honestly say this. I'm the only pro football player that's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm the second best player in my own family. Sterling, you're my hero, my father figure, my role model. You taught me everything I know about sports and a lot about life. I never once lived in your shadows. I embraced it.
I absolutely love that. I love when people don't shy from standing on the shoulders of those before them, whether it be your brother or your father. He might be true. Like, Sterling Sharpe was a dog for the Packers as a receiver. I mean, I think in his 7 years, his career was cut short due to injury, but in his 7 years, the only person with more receiving touchdowns was Jerry Rice. He led the league in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns multiple times. Like, this dude was a top-tier receiver. He just didn't have the lengthy career, but he had the impact. Undoubtedly, congratulations to the Sharps. That's crazy. Two bros in the Hall of Fame.
The job well done from that family, man.
Right. Man,
from each other, helping each other up, not too competitive in a bad way, but competitive in a good way.
Yeah. That gene pool, super strong. I know one of Shannon Sharpe's sons, not quite the football player they were, though. You know what I'm saying? I got to get my guy on the right training regimen. Shannon Sharpe is a big, bulky dude. Like, how does that not get passed now?
Next stop.
We're going to Dublin, Ireland, because that is one of the international games for the NFL next year. This comes in the same week where the NFL and the Los Angeles Rams announced that they'd be in Melbourne, Australia in 2026. Which of those games excites you more, or at least those trips excite you more?
If I had to pick one of the two to go to, I probably would go to Ireland just because it feels like a little closer. But didn't we just do Dublin, Ireland for college football?
Yes, we did. That's where Florida State's bad omen began.
Yeah, it's just a little overkill, these NFL overseas games. Like last year, you go to Brazil and nobody's allowed to go outside because it's dangerous. Australia's just far as hell. Like, the more I think about it, I'm like, you got to make a whole week and a half trip out of that thing to make it worth it. So I guess I would go Ireland because there's more stuff around it. You also go to Australia, and that's the only place you really can go. So
I don't know. I've always had a bucket list for Australia.
Why?
Because it is as different of a place as you can get, I feel like. You're just flipped upside down, opposite seasons when you go to that far around the world. Yeah. And I want to see a kangaroo. I'll be honest. That is a part of the reason where I watched Kangaroo Jack a bunch as a kid, and I've got a hankering to see some kangaroos in the wild.
Do you think you would survive if I put you and a kangaroo on the 50-yard line of a football field
What's
with
the
no
objective?
protection?
Okay.
Just to survive, just to get out of there.
I'd whoop its ass. Are you kidding me? I'd be motivated. I would put him in a headlock. The kicks, you can take out the legs. They're kind of top-heavy. I would take down a kangaroo. I would be unapologetic about it, too. I've heard bad stories.
I highly doubt you could take out a kangaroo.
Next stop.
I could take down a kangaroo.
You could not take down a kangaroo.
Like a deer.
You barely made it through our wall sit competition earlier, and you think you're going to take down a kangaroo with all the leg strength they have?
I don't think taking down a kangaroo is a feat of endurance, which is what you're talking about, the wall sits.
Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't beat him in a squatting contest either.
Well, Joe Burrow was talking a lot during Radio Row Media Week at the Super Bowl. Here's what he had to say on the Dan Patrick Show.
You got a good vantage point there.
If I was the quarterback of that offense, I would have been frustrated if we didn't get that pass interference call, I would say.
So if you're Mahomes, you would have been upset if you didn't get that call.
100%. Yeah.
Even if it was in Cincinnati and not Kansas City.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was close in that moment. If that was in the second quarter, it's pass interference 9 times out of 10. In that moment, it's probably a 50-50 coin toss, but I don't blame him for that one.
So Joe Burrow's talking about the Week 3 game in which the Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25 it was a 3rd and long or 4th and long? I can't remember.
I was in Italy.
It was a pivotal down. Yeah, you missed this one. And Mahomes threw up a deep ball. It was a clear pass interference. It was called, and everybody acted like the refs helped him. I'll say this. Joe Burrow is a good sport and a real competitor because he didn't lean into any of the ref assistance crap. Another thing I'll say, though, like, is as great of a dude he is about this stuff and navigating these waters, like, he is going to go down as one of the great quarterbacks of this era, but it's starting to feel more and more like he's going to be more Phil Rivers than even Bill Roethlisberger. Like, just regular season. Phil. I said Phil.
I think you said Bill Roethlisberger.
I said Bill Roethlisberger?
I think so.
Well, you know what? That's better than the other nicknames I have for him. You know what he gets. You know how he gets.
Quickly, a stop at the NBA. Brooklyn Nets veteran Ben Simmons is finalizing a contract buyout to enter free agency. Your
also
thoughts?
Starts with an R. Roethlisberger. You said Ben Simmons is going to enter free agency. He's going to get bought out.
Yep, he's trying to get to there.
I'll never forget like how much we thought he was going to be the future of basketball and how quickly he let us down on that. But let's not forget he did have like an all-NBA season or two, an all-defensive team season or two. Something's left in that body.
I guess. Colin Cowherd went on the show and said, listen, LeBron, you can retire. We're good.
We're good, LeBron.
And I love Colin. We've got Ben Simmons. It's so funny to look back at.
That, you know what? I hope Ben Simmons doesn't play another lick of basketball, not because I'm a Ben Simmons hater. I want to see this guy succeed. I want to see him do well. It would make that clip even funnier because that would mean LeBron James would have outlived Ben Simmons' career. That would be hilarious.
Next stop.
Let's wrap up the get around at my favorite spot to go kick in and grab some grub. And also to be able to watch some games. If you can't make it to New Orleans, it's a little late anyways if you were trying to get to the big game. Join us at a Duffy Sports Grill with 2 ways to score big on Sunday, February 9th. Duffy's Big Game Day experience starting at just $25. It includes a guaranteed front row seat, complimentary welcome drink, touchdown tots, official Duffy swag, and so much more. And of course, if you want to tailgate on your own home turf, well, why not you just pre-order some game day eats and you can score double MVP points and you'll really be the MVP of your tailgate at the crib. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on. What a get around, what a time, and also a big thanks to our guys from, the Money Down podcast. They came through with the heat. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, man, that thing is coming soon. 17 days away for the Cognizant Classic as they return to PGA National in Palm Beach Gardens. February 26th is the start, runs right through March 2nd. And like Todd said, the tickets, if you want to be in the bear trap, well, you're almost out of luck because Saturday and Friday are already bought up. They're already sold out, but you can still get tickets in the bear trap for Thursday and Sunday. Those are the hot ticket items. TheCognizantClassic.com. TheCognizantClassic.com. Of course, there's military appreciation. There is kids 15 and under can get in free with a ticketed adult. And also Yellow Flamingo Club tickets still available. That is the VIP. That is where you'll find me and CCAT, theoretically speaking, kicking it at the Cognizant Classic. TheCognizantClassic.com. The PGA Tour comes to Palm Beach County. Don't miss out on the fun. TheCognizantClassic.com. On the other side, we pad your pockets with prize picks, and we get you out of here. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
DQ Grill and Chill. Always your Valentine for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, the Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Make sure you pick up your Cupid cake, a great Valentine's Day gift, with DQ Grill and Chill's custom red velvet or a specific flavor for your liking. $13.99 through Valentine's Day. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, We know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smithball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smithball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
My leg! I am not angry. I am in pain. My leg!
Time now for an injury report.
My head and torso! Wow, that's crazy. They hit me everywhere except my legs!
Presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Well, this time it's their tummies. And no, the Eagles aren't just worried sick. Apparently, there are actual illnesses going on throughout the Philadelphia Eagles locker room ahead of the Super Bowls. Now, while no players are sick enough to miss the Super Bowl, there are plenty of Eagles sick, feeling a little illness right now, including Jalen Carter, their interior player who creates the most pressure and wreaks the most havoc on that defensive line. That is a storyline to pay attention to ahead of the big game, and that is your Baptist Health Injury Report, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. CCAT, that is going to trigger a lot of response when it comes to what people think about how players are going to perform. And speaking of how players will perform, I know the place to go if you have an edge. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. You can win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can also do so if you jump in on Prize Picks right now and get in on the big game for Sunday, right? It's your last football game of the year. All you got to do is hit more or less on players' stat projections. If you think that Patrick Mahomes is going to run more than 6.5 times, you hit more on that. Is Jalen Hurts going to rush the ball more than 9 times? You hit more on that. That's the way it works. You build a lineup of between 2 and 6 different players, and that can win you up to 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits right into your account this sports season. Use promo code THEOD. That's promo code THEOD to win $50 free with a $5 lineup. Go in love.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private clubs